Welcome to Dropping Diamonds with me, AJ Andrews, where we dive headfirst into the world of softball. Today, joining me is a absolute stud superstar. She's a two-time first-team NFCA, first-team All-American, top 25 finalist, USA Softball Player of the Year award winner, and Sunbelt champion, most outstanding player. It is the one, it is the only, Sam Landry.
Hi.
Hey, girl.
Hello.
Thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
You are jumping into your rookie season. It is here. It is happening. What would you say? How do you feel like it has been so far?
Yeah, it's definitely been exciting, something new. It was a learning curve for me. You know, it's a lot more independency and just more relying on your teammates than you ever have before. So figuring that out and just going into it, really.
Yeah. What do you feel like is probably the biggest transition or the biggest adjustment to make from college to pro?
I would definitely say it's more like you feel you're coaching yourself a lot more. Like you have your coaches, but you kind of want to try to do it yourself. Or maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just the problem I deal with. But yeah, the team is so awesome, and like just talking to them is so much fun, and they're so knowledgeable in this sport that it's like you figure it out pretty quick.
When you say coaching yourself, what have you taught yourself? What have you maybe learned about yourself through this process?
That's the funny part. I'm still working on that.
Okay. That's what life's about. We're all work in progress.
But just trying to figure everything out, like just like body wise when pitching and trying to get the right feels right now and realizing where I'm at and just kind of trying to push through some of the exhaustion that comes with coming off of college season into this. So just figuring all that out.
I love it. When I start with this podcast, I jumped right into it with you, but normally I start with an affirmation to get us going. Because, we want to be positive and uplifted as softball players because this game gets hard. So one of the quotes that I'm going to start with is, "It's not about the setback, it's about the comeback."
Yeah.
Is there a quote that you love or that you live by?
I would definitely say the thing that I always repeat to myself, it's a Bible verse. It's 1 Corinthians 9:24. And it says, "Do you not know that in a race, all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? So run in such a way as to obtain it." And I think it's so important because there's so many like prizes in this life. And I think that verse can be taken in so many different ways. And it's not just about winning a game because the prize could be something you learn from a loss.
Yeah. What do you feel like is something you've learned from a loss? A prize.
Yeah.
It's one of your biggest prizes you have in your back pocket now.
I think I have learned genuinely how good God is. Because I think just where I was at, and it's something I've talked about a little bit, not much, but where I was at mentally, I was ready to quit softball. And I was ready to just walk away from the game because it was my entire identity. And I think that after a little bit and understanding God and what he was doing in my life, it became like he was my identity. And I don't think that's something I would have learned if it would have been win, 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 because then I would have fall so in love with that feeling of winning all the time instead of how much I had to rely on him in those moments.
So you feel like you fell in love with relying on your faith and on God rather than the win?
Yes.
What took you there? What do you feel like finally got you to a place where it's just, in that point, it seems like you have to kind of just surrender.
Yeah.
And that can be the hardest thing to do. What allowed you to do it?
It is so scary, but I think the support that the Oklahoma staff, the team, everybody gave was something that really helped with that. And I know me and Coach Gasso had a very hard conversation one day. And she sat me down and we were talking. I'm crying. She was like, "Sam, you realize the end is already written." And I was like, "Oh, you're right."
Like that.
Yeah, I was like, "You're right." So I think that was such a freeing statement that she said that I've lived by this past year mainly. And I'm like, the end's already written. Like this loss is in his plan. Like it's going to get me somewhere. Who knows where that's going to be? We'll find out later, but it's written. But yeah.
What led to that conversation?
I'm trying to remember. I think it was when I got my concussion.
Okay.
And I was missing, the first SEC series. It was senior year. I took it really hard, just having to sit out. I don't like sitting out. Having to sit out. And I think we had a really hard conversation because I was so frustrated with everything that was happening. And so we just had to, she could see how much I was letting the sport define me by how much I was mad that I wasn't playing. And she was like, you have more to you than this sport. Like, you should be okay with not playing all the time. I was like, well, I'm not. So I need to be out there. But it was definitely something I needed and something that definitely flipped my mindset and who I am.
What affirmation do you feel like we can take from that? Where we talk about it's not a setback, it's really a comeback. And you talk about how their end is already written.
Yeah.
What's a good affirmation? How do we get to our prize?
Yeah.
Live in such a way.
How do we do that?
We are affirming. How do we get there?
The moves help. The moves help.
We could say, well, one of the it goes along the lines of what you said, where live in such a way that if someone were to talk negatively about you, people wouldn't even believe it.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like, today I'm going to. Now I'm moving.
Yeah.
Today,
See, it helps.
My prize. Keep my eyes on the prize.
Yes.
I love a good rhyme. I'm gonna keep my eyes on the prize, and that is to live in a way that all I do is rise.
That was good.
Wow. Okay, guys. Okay.
I need that in a quote on a picture of you.
Okay. So today, what I don't know what I said. Today,
gonna keep
my eyes on the prize
and live in a way
that all I do is rise.
Yep.
And live in a way that all I do is rise.
Amen.
You continue to rise after you transfer from UL to Oklahoma. And you talked about it was something you really needed. You just needed a new space. You needed new coaches, a new experience. How did going to Oklahoma help develop you better as a pitcher?
I think a lot of it came with the mentality that I had in the game. And I think Oklahoma was who got my best assets of my mentality out. And it was the refuse to lose and like just really playing the game and not trying to please other people. And I think once I got my mentality right, that helped. I don't think I advanced as much pitching wise as people think I did. But when my mentality got right, that's what helped the pitching. And I give all the credit of that to the coaching staff, to Coach Rocha. I think she is genuinely one of the best pitching coaches in the nation because she knows that it's more than just mechanics, especially at this point in your career. You've been doing it for so long. She knows that it's not going to always be this tiny release point that you need to work on. It's like, well, what were you thinking before you threw that pitch? And I think that is why she is genuinely the best pitching coach.
How do you train yourself to have those positive thoughts and get to the mentality that you need to have a championship mentality to evolve as a pitcher? So
definitely just a lot of repetition of that. And then you finally get to a point where you're like, I'm just going to throw this pitch. Like, screw it. And then you do. And it's like the best pitch you've ever thrown. And you're like, well, how did that happen? Like, I wasn't even thinking about anything. And she was like, exactly. I was like, oh, okay. So just like I said, a lot of repetition, a lot of trust. I think how much I trusted her and the rest of the staff allowed me to trust myself a lot more. And that's just where it kept piling on.
What do you feel like is probably the best advice that she gave you, Coach Rocha?
She honestly is like one of those people that talk where like everything she says, you're like, let me write that down.
Yeah.
Like pause, let me write it down, please. I definitely think a lot of it, like just the word trust that she would always say, I think a lot of that can be expanded into like trusting like me with my decisions, with my pitching, with anything I do outside of softball. So anytime I think of Coach Rocha, the word trust always comes to my mind. And like I said, like I trust her so much and it genuinely helps me trust myself more.
When you're getting into a place of trust, because even if I just think about, I'm not a pitcher, but if I'm trusting myself in the outfield to make a play, I have to first make that play. And then I'm like, okay, I know I can do this again. But then you get into a place where maybe if you missed it the second time or the third time, now the trust has started to go down. How do you, in those moments, build the trust back up?
Yeah. So one thing we would do is I would throw a pitch and it'd be absolutely terrible. Terrible pitch. She's like, did you trust it? I'm like, yeah. Like I genuinely came out of my release trusting everything that pitch was about to do. And she was like, and it wasn't good? I was like, no, it was like literally the worst pitch I've ever thrown. And she was like, so what?
She said, so what?
Yeah, she's like, so what? Do it again.
Mm.
So then you would go in and you're like, I'm still going to trust it. And then you would see that maybe you throw another bad pitch and you're like, did you trust it? And you're like, no, like I was trying to, the last one was terrible. I was trying to do that, you know? And so then you would move into the fact that you have to let everything go. And I think softball is such a game of short-term memory that I could throw what I think is the best pitch of my life and they're going to go yard with it. And you're like, but I trusted that. You're like, well, she trusted her swing as well. So it's just a whole bunch of like, you trust it. If it doesn't work out, so what? Let it go. If it works out, great. Let it go. You're moving on to the next pitch anyways. So just letting it go, moving on, you know, it's one pitch at a time and everything happens for a reason. So
is it easy to let it go?
It wasn't at first. It's definitely something that I worked really hard to get to. And then I'm kind of struggling with again. And so I'm trying to build that back up. And it's just, I think a lot of that comes with like trusting yourself and just being very secure with what you're doing and just knowing that your team's behind your back. And I know like me and Tiare Jennings went through a lot of the same coaching. I mean, she got a little bit more than I did, but she knows exactly the right thing to say. So when I'm pitching and she comes up behind me, she'll be like, you realize you have like one of the best defenses behind you right now. And I'm like, oh, you're right. And so
I'm like, I do, huh?
Yeah. You're like, oh, everybody's an All-American, my bad. So then you're more willing to like go through the zone and you're like, you're right. Like, let me make them hit it. Like, I need to quit trying to bite at the end of the zone. So I think especially having her right there and just knowing exactly what to say, knowing what coaches were telling me all year is absolutely amazing.
Would you say that's probably your philosophy, your Coach Roach's philosophy on pitching? To trust it?
Yes, absolutely. Trust and let go, move on.
Trust, let go, move on. And then do it again.
And then do it again.
Do it again.
Every pitch.
So that's right. What's the longest you, like repetition-wise, you had to do something until you got it right?
It was probably longer than Coach Richa wanted me to do it, but I was like, Coach Richa, let me do it, please. There was one bullpen, she absolutely cut me off. Like, it was terrible pitching, worst bullpen I've ever had. And she was like, okay, you're done. I was like, what?
Like, cut you off early?
Yeah, she was like, you're done. I was like, huh? She was like, you can sleep on it. Come back tomorrow. Huh?
The way you're even just like delivering it right now.
Yeah.
Let's sleep on it. Come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're not getting better today. We're gonna do it tomorrow.
She was like, you're just, no. I was like, oh my gosh. But came back the next day. Was ready to go. One of the best bullpens of my life.
But that's so real. I mean, it's the same with hitting. Like, sometimes it's like, I think you should just let it go today.
Well, because it's like if you're just going over and over and over again, nothing's working. You're getting mad. You're not trusting anything. Like, who are you helping? Like, you're just doing so many bad mechanics. You're getting mad. You're starting to hate it. Like, all this. And so, come back tomorrow. Yes, ma'am.
I imagine she's just very soft-spoken. And
yes.
Like, hey, come back tomorrow.
One of the most soothing voices I've ever heard. Yeah. I love hearing her talk. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Well, I thought, Oklahoma, right? Everybody talks about the dynasty that is Oklahoma and Oklahoma softball. And you gave a little story about Coach Gasso and how she pulled you aside and was able to really get you mentally in a better space.
Yeah.
What is your favorite Patty Gasso story or moment to where you realized, oh, this is why this is a dynasty?
Yeah. There's so many. I genuinely think, though, it's like she knows when to be serious and then she knows when she can joke. And she's going to kill me for saying that because I also said that on like an SEC thing and she got so mad that I said she's a jokester. But
That's so funny. She doesn't want to be serious.
Yeah, she was like, Sam, I'm trying to be serious.
Yeah.
But you're not. You're a jokester. But no, I love her. I'm trying to think. I know we had like a loss one time. And one of the first things she was saying was like she gets mad. She'll be upset about it. But she's like everybody's mad. I think it was our first loss of the season. She was like, y'all realize y'all are like 30-1 right now. And we're like, oh. Like, we're 31 games into the season. We have one loss. Everybody's mad. She's like it was bound to happen. You know what I mean? So I genuinely think that she like knew when to be serious and she knew how to read us, I would say. So I think like that's what makes her one of the best coaches. And then the emphasis that she puts on in practice of like you play it like it's a game. Like the first day of practice, I remember somebody like bobbled a ball and then was like, all right, next one. And she was like, are you gonna finish the play? And we're like, oh, we're like, you gotta grab the ball. But no, I like, she is definitely one of the like practice like you play people. And I think that translates into a game. And our practices are so fast sometimes that a game is slower. So then you're ready for it at all times.
Ready at all. I mean, it would seem that way. Ready at all times. Yeah, you wouldn't think Coach Gasso was a jokester. So thanks for that.
She's funny.
Yeah.
She is funny.
Does she tell jokes? Like actual
she
jokes?
Does.
Wait, what's her best joke?
What did she say? Oh, I can't even think right now. I was put on the spot. Now I can't think. But she...
Trust it.
She liked to pick on me. And I would just be like, Coach, what? She ate me alive. I never had a comeback. I never had one. I was like, how do I even respond to that?
Just like slick comments?
Oh, yeah. She like one day... She might kill me for saying this story. But she was like... she walked up to me. She was like, you look like Miley Cyrus. I was like, thanks.
And you're taking this compliment? Like,
yeah, I was like, thank you. And she like walked away. And like 5 minutes later, she came back. She was like, oh, by the way, not Hannah Montana, Wrecking Ball. It's like, okay, never mind. I don't want the compliment. Never mind.
It's the fact that she had to think about it. She's like, how do I make this not a compliment?
Yeah.
Then
she saw I liked it, had to fix it, came back and was like, Wrecking Ball. Okay.
She finished the play.
Yeah.
She finished the play.
When we had a Halloween thing, I almost came as Miley Cyrus.
Oh,
I was like, this would be perfect.
Wait, that actually would be so funny.
I would have laughed so hard. I would have laughed.
Well, when it comes to pitching and it comes to perfect games, you know how to complete them and make them happen. We talk about trusting the process, but also trusting your defense. Mm-hmm. When you're in the process of throwing a perfect game, are you aware?
The one I had this season, I was, but I wasn't aware until the last inning because we were scoring the runs and I happened to look up there to see like if we were in run rule territory. And I saw like 0, 0, 0. I was like, why'd I look? Like, no way. But so then going back out on defense, I genuinely had so much trust for that defense. Mm-hmm. And like, cause funny story about Gabby Garcia real quick, the shortstop. She made like 1 error a game. And we get to practice. She was like, Coach, I need like 5 buckets. We're like, you made 1 error. She was like, 1 error is 5 buckets of balls. Ooh. Oh my gosh. I was like, okay, girl. But I genuinely trusted them because they all had that mentality. And even when you think back to when we were playing like Oklahoma State and bases are loaded and there's a solid line drive hit back up the middle, but our second baseman dives and makes that play. She makes those play at practices every day. So we were like, she wants those plays. So just having the trust for them because I know what they want in practice. So I know they're ready for it in the game. And so the Baylor game, I was ready for that. Or I knew the perfect game was going on, but I also knew that my defense was on lockdown. Like I had seen them all day and it was super exciting to be able to do with them.
What did your catchers come up to you, or anybody and your teammates come up and say, okay, keep going?
No, I was surprised. I was surprised that nobody did because I would have cried if they did. I would have cried if they did.
I know, I hate stats. I used to, when the reporters at LSU, oh, shoot.
Yeah,
I forgot I just wiped my eye. I called myself a phoenix. The phoenix is burning. Shoot. Anyway, I would tell like the reporters sometimes, like, please don't tell me my stats. I just don't want to know. I really don't want to know.
Don't want to know. I would look at the paper like during like post-game conferences or whatever, and you could always tell like when I was mad. I always went back to watch to see if like you could tell I was mad, and you could tell because I'd just be like sitting there, like not saying anything. But if I was like good, I was like, yeah, hey Brad,
got it. Sam, you not only step on the field and like just your vibe, you just seem like you're just so chill and cool girl. But do you get angry often, or do you just kind of trust it? and go through it.
I trust it, but I will say I get angry at myself because there are times where I know like I'm better than that.
Right.
Like, that just happened. I know I'm better than that. But at the same time, it's having to move on pretty quickly from that. So coming back in and just like kind of resetting the mind and then going back out there. We used to work on like breathing a lot and that helps. So just doing that, resetting, but I do get mad. I do get mad.
Do you have breathwork technique that you use?
We did a lot of like box breathing where you go like 4 in, hold for 4, breathe out for 4.
Okay.
But like if you see me pitch, a lot of my like motion is built around breathing. So I'll like take a deep breath in like as soon as I get on the mound and then blow it out. And then as soon as I'm starting my pitch, it's a deep breath in.
And then you don't release until you release the pitch?
Until I release the ball.
It probably makes you throw harder.
Hold that.
It sounds
like,
right. Yeah. I feel like when I talk about your pitching and how amazing you are as a pitcher, you also bring the style and the grace unintentionally by wearing your glasses on the field. I read an article on you on MLB, and you talked about how they stay on. They were so curious about how it stayed on. Mm-hmm. And it all happened because you put hairspray on one day, put your glasses on, and it just stuck. Yeah. So that's the key. When wear glasses on the field, no more contacts. Yeah. Hairspray. Then glasses. That's routine.
Yeah, because I do my slick back every day. And I load up on hairspray. Like it's insane how much hairspray I put in my hair. But I like put my glasses on right after I did my hairspray. And then I like went and did something and I was like, oh my God, like I didn't brush out my lashes or something at the time. So I went to go take them off and they were like weren't moving. And I was like, oh my, get off. So I was like, that's why my glasses stay on. And I put so much hairspray in my hair and then it dries. So
that's the key,
if it works, use hairspray.
And people love it. Fans have now, you see them wearing the glasses. What's like the coolest thing a fan has done in response to you wearing glasses on the field?
I genuinely think it is so cool just to see all these little girls in like slick back bun and glasses. And
they probably like poke them out, huh? Or is it the blue light?
No, they'll use like blue light glasses. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, oh my gosh.
They even have the real deal.
It is so cute. I'm obsessed with it.
Oh, wait.
It makes my day. I'm just like, and I know I've gotten so many like DMs and they're like, my daughter was prescribed glasses. She doesn't want to wear them. And then she saw you pitch. Yeah. And now she's okay with wearing them, especially on the field. I'm like, that just warms my heart.
Truly. Like you inspire people. I think it's so interesting because we never realize as players or as people who we're inspiring by literally just existing, by being ourselves, right? It's like, I need glasses. So that's why I wear them and then I play. And then you see that there's young girls that, well, I was embarrassed for my glasses until I saw Sam. Yeah. Now I'm excited about it. Now I think it's cool.
I think it's just so moving to like to learn that and to just see like the position I'm in and what I can do with like the platform I have and being able to inspire those young girls or the next generation and just like, I don't know. It's just so surreal. I know my family was asking me about it. I was like, I genuinely cannot put it into words. Like it's just something like you'd never like understand or like I don't understand and you'd never expect it and then it just happens and you're in that position but like you want to fully fulfill your purpose in that position.
Fulfilling your purpose. What do you feel like your purpose is?
I believe that God put me on this earth to be in this sport and to spread his message and to inspire young girls.
Well, you're doing it, girl. 7 your purpose every single day.
Thanks.
You are the AUSL #1 draft pick. You're stepping onto the field, living. Is this was something you always wanted to do? Play professional softball?
It's
not.
No, I did not actually want to play softball, but I was also going through everything mentally and was ready to walk away from the game. But I want to go to medical school. So I was always like, I'm going to medical school out of college and I'm done with softball. But then, transferring happened. I wasn't ready to take the MCAT. Knew I had to take a break before I went to medical school. And I was like, well, softball. I kind of like that again. I like being there again. So when I was presented with this opportunity, I was like, absolutely. Like, I want to do it. I want to be able to continue this sport. Like I was not ready to walk away yet. Once it became my senior year, I was not ready to walk away.
Once you hit senior year, it's like, no, you're right.
Yeah, you're right. Not ready. So I'm truly blessed to be here in that my coaches, my GM took a chance on me. So.
You're here with the glasses on the field, the slick back on the field, but also every number has a story. Why do you wear number 21?
So I originally wore number 12 for Jerry Ann Glasgow, and to honor her. And then when I got to OU, 12 was taken, so I just switched it and went with 21.
I played with Jerry Ann with Akron Racers for 2 years, and to know her is to just know joy and excitement, and she was always just so happy for like the smallest things. And like I remember coming off of maybe first checkout or something, she's like, AJ, like there's just not a moment to be upset around her. Why was that someone that you really wanted to honor?
I think I've always been so close with Coach Glasgow, and just the bond that we had when everything happened. And I saw how he was dealing with it. Something in my heart told me that I needed to change my number to 12 because I was number 2. Okay. So I was like, I need to do number 12. I don't know. I need to honor her. She was such an amazing person. Anytime I was around her, I was laughing. So it's just, I have no other reason behind it except like I felt God pulling me to do it.
Jerry, for those who don't know, Jerry Ann Glasgow played softball collegiately, also played professionally, and she tragically passed away in a car accident. Being able to play against Coach Glasgow at the World Series, he had nothing but, just like the love for you. It was almost palpable. Like you could just feel it through the screen, the way he talked about you. Can you tell me a little bit about y'all's relationship and how you became so close?
Yeah, I think I don't even remember like why we got so close. We just did. Like I think for some reason God called us like both together to just like form this bond. And like even in college, he was always the first person I called if something went wrong. Finals week, he was watching my dog for me. Side note, my dog is one of his dogs. I just stole him. So he would babysit him for me. I genuinely don't know what made us so close, but he is definitely a father figure to me, and he is one of the first people I want to talk to when anything goes wrong, when it goes right. I know when I was going through like my visits in the transfer portal, I was calling him after every single one. I was like, well, this is how that was. And he was like, okay. So I just genuinely love him, his family, his daughters. I talk to them every now and then. His wife, I love Miss Vicky so much. But we just have a very good bond. And it's just always something that's kept me in the game longer and just pushed me more because I know that he's always there.
What was his response when you changed the number to 12?
I don't think I was able to talk to him at that time. So I don't think knew. And then it was like, or he maybe knew, but he couldn't say anything to me because of the rules. And September 1st came around my junior year. And I think he called and was like, you're number 12? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I am. I sure am. But I love him. Playing him in the World Series was surreal. I think the end is written, like I said. Yeah. And I think my end of my collegiate career was obviously that game, but there was something so powerful in that game. And I think I got a lot of peace from walking away from my collegiate career at that time, ending it that way. And I was just so happy for him and his team and my old teammates. And I was extremely happy for our team and what they learned. And a lot of those girls are going back next year to Oklahoma. And we were such a young team.
Yeah.
So I think they learned so much from that game as well. And they're going to have a fight to this coming season. And I'm praying for them. I know they're going to do so well.
It's going to be a fight. Texas Tech is definitely it's on a tear that it doesn't look like it's going to stop.
Yeah.
Anytime soon.
That'd be tough. That'd be tough.
Well, let's go into my favorite segment is the no-fly zone segment, where we turn the field to no-fly zone. You as a pitcher also turn the field to no-fly zone, whether it's through your pitches or making really cool plays. Do you have a favorite play that you've ever made? Or maybe a favorite outing, if you can't think of a favorite play.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know. I can't even remember like what game or anything. I just know it was a bunt. Yeah. And I just like ran up, grabbed it, bare hand, threw it.
Ooh, Jeter.
But it was my favorite thing because at practice, Coach Gasso was always like, you're too slow to the bunt. She was like, you're too slow. So the next day at practice, she was like, it's an illusion because you're so slow to the ball. but you just throw it. I was like, it works. It works. So I think that stuck with me because I was like, she always tells me I'm too slow, but I'm going to get there. Just give me time.
And so then you made the play. What did she say to you after you made that play?
She just came up. She was like, good play. I was like, thanks.
I'm not going to choke on my words, but you did well.
Yeah. Like, thanks.
Love it.
Was I too slow or?
Do you ever give her stuff back? Like
I try, but then I'm like, oh my gosh, is she going to make me run? I'm just kidding. She would never.
Sam, what do you think is your favorite failure, because it's inevitable in this game, that's ultimately led to one of your biggest successes?
I would say one of my first outings with Oklahoma was we played San Diego State, and I did not do good. I did absolutely terrible. And I think where my mind was at when I start pitching like that, and I think with most coaches you would assume too, when you start pitching like that, they're going to pull you. And I came back in the dugout and they were like, okay, you're going to do this next inning. I was like, wait, I'm going back out there? And they're like, yeah, you are. I was like, oh, okay. And so I think what I originally thought was like a failure and how bad I was doing that game taught me so much. And like, it taught me that these coaches had trust in me, and it helped me go out there with so much more trust in myself and so much more confidence. Cause I was like, there's only one reason they're putting me back out here right now. When it's like, I can't even remember the score. I think they had scored like 5 runs off of me in like 3 innings. And I was like, there's only one reason they're letting me go back out here. So I really have to like dial in and figure this out. And I think that taught me so much, like more than any other game could have taught me.
I feel like it all goes back to trust.
Exactly.
It all goes back to trust. Trusting yourself and surrounding yourself with people that also trust you.
Yes.
I wanted to, when you talk about, what is your favorite pitch to throw?
Change up.
Change up.
I love a change up.
You love a change up. Can you show us your pitching grips?
I can.
Okay, I'm going to grab a ball.
Okay. So this is my change up.
Okay.
Yeah. This.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think through. This is screw, curve, rise.
What changed? Just a placement?
It's just how I release it. Screw, curve, rise.
Oh.
And then a lot of people disagree with this one because they think a drop ball should be 4 seams.
Yeah.
But I feel like I have greater control with it when I throw it 2 seams. So this is my drop ball.
But you've tried 4? And you
I tried 4. It's just, I don't know why it doesn't work out for me. So I just switched to 2 seam. I think actually one of the freshmen at OU, Audrey Lowry, she was like, I throw it like this. And I was like, well, your drop ball's sick. So I'm going to try that. So I tried that and I loved it. So I've been throwing it like this since. So
I love that. Your drop ball's sick.
Let
me just try.
Yeah. She was like, well, she's the most soft-spoken person you'll ever meet. Like more than Coach Rich. She's like, well, I do this. I was like, oh, great. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because you're amazing. So
did it take a while to get it like that, or it was?
No, it was like first pitch.
Oh, wow.
I was like, Audrey. And she was like, yeah. She was like, that was so good.
Well, Sam, thank you so much for teaching us about trusting the process. Our affirmation, eyes
on the prize.
Eyes on the prize. Live in a way that all we do is rise.
Absolutely.
Or make a great drop ball.
Yeah.
Rise or drop. Well, don't drop.
Rise
but
or
let's
drop.
keep driving. Let's keep rising. But Sam, as we close out, I know you know American Sign Language. Can you say bye, love you guys, and...
So you'd say, I love you like that.
I love you.
Yes. Or you can say, we can tell them to have a great day.
Okay, have a great day. How do we do that?
Okay, you would say have.
And
then you would say great.
Ooh. Great
day.
Yes. Okay, what was have again?
Have.
Okay, have
a
great day. Have a great day.
Amen.
And then amen.
I don't know that sign.
Wait, last thing. What did you learn? Sign language. When did you start learning it?
I started learning it in 4th grade. There was a little girl at my school, only communicated using sign language. So I started learning it to talk to her. Fell in love with the language. I think it was so beautiful. And just kept learning it.
it. That's so lovely.
Yes.
Did she become your best friend?
I wish she did. We talked every now and then, but I think it was just something that I don't want to, I can't say what she needed.
No, yeah.
Just having somebody to talk
To
to.
talk to, for sure.
And I was always glad I was able to do that part, be somebody that could bring that light to it. And yeah.
And how do you say you're amazing?
It's same as great. So like, you're amazing.
Well, Sam, you're amazing. Thank you so much for joining me on Dropping Diamonds and dropping your diamonds.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
We'll catch you guys next week back at the Diamond. Have a great day.